Hello everybody, thanks for checking out this video of my top 10 favorite houseplants of 2022. Now this edition won't include any philodendrons since they are my favorite houseplants, which means that they deserve a separate top 10 video that I will publish shortly on my channel. So now let's have a look at my top 10 favorite houseplants of 2022 that are not philodendrons. Now I just had to start this top 10 with my biggest China doll plant. I have several of these and I made a video about them last April, but this one here is my oldest one. Now for each plant in this top 10 that I'm going to show you, I will insert a picture of the plant that I took on the very day I received it, and I will also tell you how much I paid for the plant. So this China doll plant is with me since August 2020, and when I got it, it was a small but very full pot for which I paid €2.60 only. And as you can see, after 2.5 years, it is not a house plant anymore, but a house tree. So this plant shows us that with a little bit of patience and basic care, a small and cheap houseplant can grow into an indoor tree that is basically shamelessly trying to reach for your ceiling. The second plant in my top 10 is this Rhipsalis or coral cactus that I bought in July 2020 for €3 in a discount store. And this guy has more than doubled in size after 2.5 years. Now I keep it right behind an east-facing window where it gets a couple of hours of direct morning sunlight. In my opinion, this is a very easy plant as long as you don't let it dry out completely, and when this plant is happy, from time to time it produces these tiny white crystals on its leaves. So who knew that some houseplants reward good care with nothing less than beautiful jewelry? Okay, the third houseplant I want to show you is actually not one single plant, but it's a whole bunch of plants with more or less the same care that I put in one single pot. Now, in July of this year, I made a video about what to do if you have too many cuttings. And one option is to just put them all together in one pot and see what happens next. I have several of such pots that I like to call survival of the fittest pots. So what you see here is 6 months worth of growth of different plant cuttings that I took myself. So this didn't cost me anything. Now there's a begonia in there, a golden pothos, a purple velvet plant, several philodendron micans cuttings, so in the end there are philodendrons in this video after all. I suppose I just can't resist it. And finally a baby syngonium. Alright, plant number 4 is this Ming fern asparagus that I bought in January of this year in a local nursery for only €2.95. And after 1 year, chilling out close to an east-facing window, this plant has been growing constantly. And surprisingly, it hardly ever loses any of its needle-like leaves, which can be a nuisance with this plant, since we don't want to be vacuuming up hundreds of these fallen needles from the floor on a daily basis. I guess we all got better things to do. Plant number 5 is this goldfish plant. Now I bought quite a few of these from Ecuagenera. This one I bought from them in January of this year for $15, and I got to say, even when these arrive at your place with all the leaves fallen off, don't worry, because these are the sturdiest plants out there. They just want to live. And they have always bounced back after shipping, producing new leaves and growing like there's no tomorrow. And when they're happy, they produce these lovely goldfish-like flowers, so I think goldfish plants or house plants you should definitely try out if you haven't already. Plant 6 of this top 10 is this gorgeous Aglaonema or Chinese evergreen. This cultivar is called Butterfly Merah. Don't ask me why. I bought it online in November 2021 for 15 euros. And although in my experience Aglaonemas are not the easiest houseplants, this one is thriving after more than 1 year under my care, and the trick seems to be to grow them right under a growing light. To me, Aglaonemas are the perfect plants to add some color to your houseplant collection, especially if you mainly have philodendrons like me, just so I have some other colors apart from the 50 shades of green that my philodendrons display. Plant number 7, or I should say plants number 7 plural, are these baby Monstera Deliciosa cuttings that I took from my 20-year-old Monstera. So these are basically free plants, and they have been growing in nothing but perlite and water for almost a year now. And I just love how I can see the roots developing in this glass jar. I will have to repot them at some point, but I keep on postponing it because I just love to be able to stare at these roots while they grow. So plant number 8 of my top 10 favorite houseplants, excluding philodendrons, is this Polka Dot Begonia that I bought as a baby plant in July 2020 for only 3 euros. And after 1 year and a half under my care, it looks like this. And even though we are in the winter, it keeps on producing new leaves, probably because I put it right in front of a growing lamp. And obviously I love this plant because of all these dots on the leaves, but also because of their weird cane-like growing pattern. Since bigger isn't always better, I wanted to include this Peperomia rotundifolia in my top 10 as number 9. I bought this plant online as a baby in May 2021 for only 3 euros, and I have to say this little fella impresses me since after 20 months under my care it has been constantly growing. It's not a fuzzy plant at all, and I love the way that it looks in this quirky llama planter. The last plant I want to include in my top 10 for 2022 is this Anthurium friedrichtsthalii. This one here I bought online in July of this year for $14. Now I'm relatively new to Anthuriums, but I really like the ones with long, narrow, strappy leaves like this one. And I'm considering exploring Anthuriums a bit more in 2023. Although my favorite plant genus no doubt will always be philodendrons. So while you are watching this golden pothos, the easiest of all houseplants, this is a cutting that I took from a 10-year-old mother plant that I had to cut up. This concludes my favorite non-philodendron houseplants for 2022. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it. And if you want to see what my favorite philodendrons of 2022 are, please consider subscribing to my channel. I will dedicate 2 videos to my favorite philodendrons in the next couple of days. For now, I wish you a very good day. Bye bye.